Morning, this is Brian. Today is Tuesday, January 3rd, 2023. My first outing in 2023, and I'm here at Mission Trails Regional Park at the Mission Dam Trailhead once again. Today, I am planning on trying to finally get up to North Fortuna Mountain at 1,291 feet. And I'm going to start here at the Mission Dam Trailhead. I'm going to go by the Oak Canyon Trail, so anybody watching this might see some familiarity. So, welcome to a new year of hiking adventures here in Southern California. I didn't get out last week because my work schedule for Christmas week did not allow me to enjoy my adventures. So I'm out here now starting the new year. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look for the Oak Canyon Trail and start heading over that way. So I'll see you along the way. Alright, so just leaving the parking area, looking at this miniature model of the San Diego River. I'm trying to see if there's like a little stream of water in there, just for comic's sake. But we're gonna walk through the end of the parking area. Definitely gonna be a lot more water here than there was the last time I was here in this area. That was a good few months ago. It's several months ago, I think. So yeah, it's definitely going to be good hiking temperatures today. Probably only going to get up into the 50s, maybe upper 50s. It's in the low 50s right now, so it's nice and cool out. So what I'm going to do is get to the Oak Canyon Trail. And some of that footage is probably going to look familiar because I've been on the Oak Canyon Trail a couple times, at least very small portions of it. What I'm going to be doing is using the Oak Canyon Trail as a way to get towards the service road. It heads up towards Fortuna Saddle. So that's kind of where I'm aiming for right now. And yes, definitely a lot more water than last time I was here. Water's spilling over the dam, unlike when I was here in the summer, when it was just in pools, few little pools around here. To be expected. We've had a nice fair amount of rain since that time. Well, that's where we're going. Oak Canyon, Fortuna Mountain, and Grasslands Trail. We're going to follow that direction. So, I noticed that this camera seems to eat through memory cards pretty fast, so I think what I'm going to do is try to do more of a combination of filming and photography for my videos so I don't run out of memory so quickly. I am packing 5 memory cards. And I'm hoping I can keep this less than 2 hours long. I know I've heard a response or two saying that some of you guys like the longer videos. I haven't heard any responses to the contrary, but I do want to try to keep it in between. Some adventures are going to be longer videos and some will be shorter videos. I don't know exactly how much filming I'll be doing today. I can imagine with the fresh air and the greening up of everything, I'm pretty sure there's going to be quite a bit of video to go along with this one, so bear with me if that's the case. But I also want to preserve some memory. But I'm also packing a poncho because there are chances of rain today. Actually, looking at the extended outlook, for the next 3 Tuesdays, including today. And there are chances of rain for each Tuesday, so it's like my poncho is going to be getting some good use, probably, because it's already been 2 weeks since my last hike, and I don't look forward to not hiking at all. So I'm going to have to kind of bounce it off. Like right now, it's kind of quiet. It's maybe a little bits of drizzle. But yeah, this is what some rain will do to you, to your usually parched landscape. So, really cool right here in Mission Gorge. Really cool to hear that rushing water climbing or barreling through the creek bed. You only get to really experience this during really rainy periods. Alright, we're going to start making our way onto the Oak Canyon Trail, which is this way. Again, I've filmed this area a few times, but let's see how muddy that fire road is. We'll see once I get over there. Well, I'm going to keep ambling on, and I will see you up the way. Alright, so kind of working around this little spot here, get up towards the trail. It's pretty muddy out here, which is to be expected. Kind of have to expect it today, especially after the copious rainfall we've gotten in the area. So just watch out for slippery terrain, especially slippery rocks. Here's that nice coast live oak that I featured on a video. I think the first time I was here, or one of the earlier times I was here during the summer. Nice stately coast live oak here. Quercus agrifolia, variety agrifolia. Just a satisfying sound of water running through. Just sounds so great. Listen to that. A very nice sound, especially in a relatively arid or semi-arid climate. See all these beautiful younger California sycamores here, all leafless for winter. There are a lot of mud puddles along this route, so we gotta really be careful. Unless you want to get thoroughly soaked, which I kind of don't, but I'm willing to accept that risk today, just because I want to get out and do something. Felt cooped up the last couple weeks, and it was really difficult for me. My work My days off were split, and I had to work a string of 6 days straight to get my day off. Days off today and tomorrow. Alright. So somebody attached the sign for the Fortunas here. So I'm going to branch off the Oak Canyon and hit the grasslands. So hopefully this will be the one that leads me to the dirt road leading me up to Fortuna Saddle. Not that far from the 52. You can see it right over there. When you're driving the 52, you get a really satisfying view of North Fortuna Mountain, which literally hangs out just above the freeway. First, before I continue this route here, there's a nice huge laurel sumac I want to take a look at. Nice beautiful specimen here. This is one of the largest ones I've seen thus far in my relatively limited experience here at Mission Trails. Ooh, it's muddy over here. Here's a big, beautiful laurel sumac right here. Usually the fragrance of these carries on a really warm, sunny day, but also with the rain interacting with its essential oils, you can smell it very clearly right now. It's a very satisfying looking large shrub here. Beautiful laurel sumac. I really love pointing out when these get large. They're just so interesting. This actually might be two. Looks like there might be a separate thicket here and a separate thicket there, so it might be two. The way they're clumped, they look like they're clumped separately, so it could be two shrubs. Definitely very nice to look at. Again, it's very muddy, so might be a little sloppy footing. I don't know what to expect when I get on the road heading up towards the saddle. I'm trying not to take the loop that parallels the freeway. I'm not trying to take the loop. I'm actually trying to make this more of an out and back hike, because I really don't want to go up and over all the craziness. But we'll see if this leads me there, because I kind of just want to go directly to the saddle. Let's see here. Some more signage coming up. So let's see how this works out. See, I'm not trying to go to the perimeter trail. So this goes to the perimeter trail. That's the one I'm not trying to take today, because you got to go around and you got to parallel the 52. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to the Oak Canyon Trail, and I'm going to follow it around. So that was what I was supposed to do, is stay on the Oak Canyon Trail. I'm going to go back to that, because the Oak Canyon Trail, I believe, is where I'm going to get to the saddle. That's going to go up that way. I'm not trying to take the perimeter loop. Maybe one of these days I might do that, but today I'm trying to do more of an out and back hike. So we're just going to go head back to the Oak Canyon Trail and follow that instead. So when we get back to the junction, because I mean you can get to the Fortunas this way. It's just the loop. I don't feel like going up and down over those really steep road portions today, especially because it's muddy out. I don't feel like coming out looking like Swamp Thing. Alright, well, when I get back to the Oak Canyon Junction, I'm just going to book a right. So I'll see you on the way. Alright, so As you'll see in the preceding photograph, before this clip starts, you'll see me pointing left at the junction. So what it is, I went back, faced the way I was originally going, and pointed left. So as if you were coming from the parking area. And here's that giant oak tree I featured a few months back as well. There's this beautiful coast live oak right here. This is if you look on Google Maps, this thing is listed as the giant oak tree. And this is it right here. Yeah, it's a big, beautiful monster that fell on its side, but it persisted, and it's still growing strongly, thankfully. And there's another really large coast live oak a little bit further down that was dying. So, fortunately, I'm pretty sure that'll even be in worse shape than when I visited back in the summertime when I was here. I think it was back in August when I did a short jaunt over here. So we're going to come up to that fairly soon. And true, these things look like they're dead most of the year, but once the rains come, these California sagebrushes here are live. They're livened up completely. So once they're fully leafed out, well, they're actually still leafing out right now, but once they're fully leafed out, and even now, the fragrance is going to be incredible. Yeah, it's very unfortunate. Yeah, I knew I was gonna expect something worse. Yeah, this is the other giant oak. The giant oak listed on Google Maps is the one I showed you first, but yeah, this one's completely gone now. Just a few months. About 4.5 months. This poor thing is completely gone now. I'm not gonna spend too much time harping on it because it's kind of depressing. At least I got to see it when it was still alive. It was a monster too. It's kind of sad to see it though. Well, hopefully these younger ones will become like that one day. All right. So again, we are on the Oak Canyon Trail, where I'm going to be sticking it out until I reach that dirt road. So a lot of people make this a loop hike. I'm just making it an out and back today. I'm not in the mood for anything really super strenuous today. My last hike was pretty decently, I'd say moderately strenuous, when I did Corte Madera Mountain and Los Pinos Mountain. But today I'm not planning on leveling up that high. Alright, I'll see you up the way. Well, making slow progress. Very rocky along that portion of the trail, so you just gotta kind of watch your steps. So you're not gonna want to go gonzo mode unless you're one of those super runner athletic types. And even then, especially now because it's muddy. So now I'm starting to head uphill through the coastal sage scrub over here. Some beautiful up canyon views here, that's for sure. So it's a very rocky trail. Actually, for a portion of the time, You're literally just following the side of the creek, the Oak Canyon Creek. So let's see here. Our trail's going to continue over here. It's beautiful out here, I'll tell you that. This is not the place I want to be hiking during heavy rain, because I'm pretty sure the trail gets washed out. So this is going to be the second footbridge I've crossed in the last few minutes. Because for the most part, I was on this side of the creek, and now I'm going to be back on it. That's pretty nice over here. So let's see. I do have to keep an eye out for the service road that's supposed to cut through, heading up towards Fortuna Saddle. There's like a wide trail that goes up there, so I gotta keep an eye out for it. It starts ascending up from the east, I believe, kind of from the east-ish. Beautiful canyon, that's for sure. But really nice to be here, I tell you. Now along the rocky portion, a little further back, you're gonna definitely want to be mindful. There is some poison oak on the side of the trail. If you're paying attention, it should be quite simple to avoid. Like I said, this time of year though, like I've said in other videos, this time of year the plant is leafless, so getting an idea of what it looks like in its leafless state is a good idea. Because it can be tricky. It can either look like it can even look like a creeping ground cover plant. It could look like a twiny vine. It can look like a very upright shrub. So my best bet is to look for it during the spring and summer months. See what it looks like. Identify the specific spot that you saw the plant from a safe distance, I may add. Do that, and then take a look at it in every season and take pictures of it. If you're one who might not feel comfortable knowing how to identify it, take pictures of it in each season. Just like a plant that you can find, you can easily get a good picture of without getting too close to it. And observe it. Observe the structure of the plant during the course of the year. And then come back in very early winter, like December or January. Because they start leafing out at different times of the year depending on the environment they live in. Some of them will start leafing out in the middle of winter and low. In some areas, like especially in the chaparral, sometimes they'll start leafing out earlier because they lose their leaves early during the summer. And in wooded areas, they'll probably leaf out a little bit later. So get an idea of what it looks like during the different seasons, and then keep it with you on your phone or whatever device, or memorize it or whatever, and just keep that with you next time you hit the trail in poison oak territory. So, oh, so this is what the plant looks like in winter. This is what it looks like. Let's stay away from it. That's a pretty helpful tip, I would think. I would hope. So we're coming up to the junction here. So this is where the work's really going to start kicking in. So we're at the Fortuna Saddle Trail. This is the wider trail. I guess it might have been an old service road. So I have just a little over a mile to get up to North Fortuna. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to crawl up the slope of this. South Fortuna will be to the left. North Fortuna will be to the right. Right here is where I leave the Oak Canyon Trail. Start my way up Fortuna Saddle. Fortuna Saddle is probably about 500 feet above us. So it's going to be a nice little climb up from here. So I'm going to get started on that. And there's the 52, the bridge of the 52. And some beautiful sycamores here. And I'll catch you up on the way. Well, so I've been climbing for not a super long time, but this part's definitely where the work begins. I'll tell you one thing, this little ravine going up here sure is spectacular. I love going up canyons like this. These narrow finger canyons, they are just so beautiful. Despite the nice cool temperatures and the mist, little bits of drizzle, this is definitely making me sweat. Again, it's only probably about like 53, maybe 54 degrees right now. So it's nice and cool, but ooh, and there's a breeze that just kicked in. That was what was missing. You will work up a sweat. So I'm here right by these beautiful San Diego mountain mahoganies right here. Cercocarpus minutiflorus. A couple of nice specimens. There are several specimens here in Mission Trails. So this is something cool botanically to keep an eye out for when you're hiking. It's closely related to a much more common Cercocarpus species called birchleaf mountain mahogany, or birchleaf Cercocarpus, which here in the mainland Southern California is Cercocarpus betuloides retibetuloides. Very similar looking shape, stature, leaves, but the top sides of the leaves are pretty much hairless on minutiflorus, which is this one, and that one, of course. And then birchleaf Cercocarpus tends to have a little more fuzziness on the leaves, but they are very, very similar species that even I've had trouble occasionally telling apart. They are very similar. Of course, here we are, climbing up with the scrub oaks again. Beautiful scrub oaks up here. I'm not sure if we're out of the range for Dumosa yet. So these could potentially be Berbertifolia or even Acutidens. We are definitely getting a nice little workout. There's a little notch up there. I don't know if that's the top. It looks like it might be. If that's so, then this part's gone by pretty quickly thus far. It's a nice little pull. This is where you start getting a little bit more of a cardio workout. When you're walking along the